Hey, this is Josh Noel from Something Creative. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create some fluid gradient graphics here in Photoshop. The first thing we want to do is create a new layer. And we want to grab our brush tool by hitting B on our keyboard. Then we'll go to our color, and we can change this to any sort of color we want. I'm going to start with an orange. And make sure that your brush hardness is set to 0%. And you can use the bracket keys on your keyboard to make the brush smaller or larger. So all we're going to do is paint the random area like this, and then we'll go to change our color. I'll go to a blue color this time, and I'll just paint over here. And I'm just going to paint over here. And then we'll go to red this time. We'll paint over here. And we'll do one more color. Maybe we'll do like a magenta color here at the top. So now we have our color palette ready to go that we'll be using as a reference for the rest of the video. We'll go ahead and create ourselves a new layer. And we'll go back to our brush tool here. But this time, click and hold down until you can see the mixer brush tool. What we're going to do is select the previous layer. And with a bigger brush size, let's use the bracket keys. Hold down Alt or Option on your keyboard and sample the area. Here on the top, you'll be able to see this color. You might need to click on Clean Brush and do it again. And make sure that the drop down is set to dry and heavy load. Make sure that the load is 100% and the flow is also 100%. One thing you're going to want to do is go to your brush settings. Just hit F5 on your keyboard or go to Window Brush Settings. Make sure that spacing is unchecked or set to 0%. We'll hide our color palette. We'll select our new layer. Also make sure that the hardness of your brush is set at 100%. And when you're ready, click and slowly create a gradient like this. And what you can do is just click a bunch of points here if you wish. And then you can turn your gradient back on. You can do a resampling by selecting the layer. And select a different area of your gradient here. Turn it off. And now we can start clicking in some more circles in here. Maybe draw a unique shape. Then what we can do is create a new layer. Make our brush much larger. And just draw some more unique shapes like this. And we'll go ahead and create one more layer. And we'll go ahead and just create another shape like so. And then we'll go back and continue to sample our swatches here to get some unique colors. And there's really not necessarily like a right or wrong answer to what you can do. So it's completely up to you. Just go ahead and alternate between the layers because we're going to create some depth in our shape. And I think this is okay for what we're doing. So what we're going to do is grab one of the layers here and we'll go to Filter, Blur, and grab Gaussian Blur. And this will bring it down by a little bit. So we'll have a little bit of depth in this. We'll click OK. Grab the other layer, go back to Filter, Blur, and grab another Gaussian Blur. And I'm able to set it down to be a lower number, so maybe like use 3 or something. Click OK. Then we turn our color options back on. Then go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And we'll make this maybe up to like 100 or so. Click OK. We'll go ahead and expand our background here. Click OK and bring this underneath everything. And now we have a nice background with some fluid gradient effects here inside of Adobe Photoshop. So even though working on design projects may be a lot of fun, it's still incredibly time consuming and sometimes challenging. To help you save time and avoid the struggles of creating good work, we have design templates here for Photoshop, which allow you to finish projects within minutes instead of hours. If you wish to start saving time now, check out our links in the description below to see all of our Photoshop templates.